Hello, I am so glad you can join me today. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today I am making some pepper steak. I'm making Chinese pepper steak today, so I hope you can join me in making some pepper steak. So get started. I have here some beef. This is sirloin beef. I bought, this is about 2.5 pounds, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use the whole thing. I probably will. This is about 2.5 pounds, which is a lot. So the first thing I'm going to do is start to slice it up, and I'm going to slice it. This is not the sharpest knife, but I'm going to slice it as thin as I can slice it. Thin pieces, because you want it to be able to cook quickly. So I'm gonna slice it thin like that. Okay. So guys, this is 2.5 pounds. I cut off some fat. I was gonna save some. I was thinking it was too much, but it had some fat in it, so I figured this will be good enough. This will last us 2 days. Okay, so this meat is already clean because I cleaned it before I cut it up. So you have to clean your meat first. Okay, make sure you clean your meat. Now I'm gonna put this meat all here in this container. I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do now is season up this meat and let it sit for a little while, okay? So over here, I have about 2 tablespoons of garlic that's already cut up. So I'm going to take half of the garlic and just put in there, save half of that. In here is 2 tablespoons of ginger. I'm going to take half of the ginger and put in there. Over here, I have some black pepper. I haven't opened this one yet. I'm going to sprinkle some black pepper in here because it's called pepper steak. Chinese pepper steak. It tastes just like the one you buy from the Chinese store. Sprinkle some black pepper in there. We'll be putting some soy sauce. And I'm going to measure this for you. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. This is the dark soy sauce. In there. This is Maggi cubes, guys. I'm going to put 1 of these in here, if I can get it open. This is the beef one, the beef Maggi cube. I figure since I'm using beef, I should. So you break this up. And put it in here. It's hard. Just drop it in there, it'll break up. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of honey in there as well. If you don't have honey, guys, you can use a little sugar if you have that. And we're going to use some cornstarch. Cornstarch is a thickener. So I'm going to put 1. About 2 tablespoons of cornstarch in there. And then I'm going to mix this all up together. Mix it all up. Okay guys, so I'm going to set this aside for an hour so that it could marinate. Just an hour, about an hour is good. It has enough stuff in here, and then I will start on the meat. But in the meantime, Let's go ahead and get our peppers. We're making pepper steak, so let's go cut up our peppers. Okay guys, so now let's cut up our peppers. So I have here 1 red pepper, 1 green pepper, and 1 onion, and this is what I'm going to use. So let me show you how I cut my peppers up. So I have my pepper here. And I will just take out the inside of this pepper. We don't want the seeds. Cut this pepper in half like that. It has water in it. Just cutting on the center like this. Just going to take this little membrane off. We're not going to use that today. And just dice up the peppers just like that. That's all. And this is how I cut my peppers, guys. Okay. So let me put these peppers here. And I'm going to do the same thing that I just did to this one. Okay guys, so that's how I cut my peppers up. So now I have a large onion here that I'm going to cut up as well. This is how I cut my peppers up. Onions. And this is how I cut my onions up. Like that. Have your onions. Cut my onions up big just like this, guys. So I'm not going to use the full onion. I'm just going to use half of the onion. That's it for my onions. So now that's all I'm going to use. So now I'm going to make a sauce. Oh, my eyes are burning first. Okay. Now I'm going to make the sauce and I'll show you how to make the sauce. Okay, so now it is time to make the sauce that is gonna go over the meat. Okay, so I'm gonna start here with 1 cup of water, and to that water I'm gonna add another 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. If you don't have cornstarch, this is not quite 2 tablespoons in here. Well, this is not quite 2 tablespoons, but I use what I have, and if I need more, I could always add flour to it if I need. If it's not thick enough, I can always add flour to it. First, I'm gonna mix this up. Ooh, I'm gonna mix it up so that good. And to that, I'm gonna add another Maggi cube, but these ones are a little bit okay. This one is breaking a little bit easier. Now remember guys, you can also, instead of water, you can also use chicken stock, beef stock if you have that. But I use water, so that's why I use the cubes instead of the beef stock, so you can do that. Okay guys, now I'm also going to add another tablespoon of honey to that. Yes, add some honey. And if you don't have honey, you can use sugar. Mix that up well. I would also use another couple tablespoons of soy sauce. And I'm not going to put any salt. I'm not going to use salt because soy sauce, of course, has a lot of sodium inside of it, so you don't need to add salt. I would add a little black pepper since it happened to be pepper steak. A little more black pepper to that, and just mix this up and just set this aside, and that would be my sauce. Okay, so I set that aside. So as soon as my meat has marinated for another hour or so, then I'm gonna come back and I will show you the process. Okay guys, so my meat has been sitting for an hour, so now I'm gonna go over to the stove and I'm gonna brown this meat before I start anything else. Okay, so let's go over to the stove. Let's start browning our meat. Guys, so I have a pan here, and I'm gonna put about a tablespoon of oil in my pan. Pan is a little hot. And I always like to put a little butter to my oil, so I put about a tablespoon of butter to that. This pan is a little small, so I'm gonna have to make a couple batches here. But what I'll do here is I'll take my meat in here and I'll stretch it out. And you don't want to stack the meat on top of each other. You want to lay it out in the pan so it can brown. So that's why I say you're going to have to, because the pan is small, I would make a few batches. Okay guys, so this is how your meat should look in the pan when you lay it out flat. Now what I'm going to do is let that stay there. I'm not going to turn it. I'm going to let it stay there until it brown. And when it brown, then I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Okay guys, so this was in here for about 3-4 minutes. So now I'm going to turn the pieces over. As you can see that they're brown on that side. So I'll turn them over so they can brown on the other side. And once they're brown on this side, then I'll take these out of the pan and I'll put another batch in here and do the same thing again. Guys, so this is the last piece. So far this is like 3 batches that I've done. And that's it. That's your meat. Meat is all done. Remove this and put that on there. Have my wok here, a little bigger pan. So the drippings from here I'm going to pour in there, because that has a lot of flavor in it, so we don't want to get rid of that. You just rest this over here, and I'm going to pour a little more oil in. Oh, bottle is empty. Gotta buy more oil. We have butter. Put some butter in there. To that butter and oil, I'm going to add the rest of my garlic. Ooh, gotta be careful guys, we don't want to burn the garlic. The rest, you just lower your stove a little bit. And my ginger, the rest of my ginger, I'm going to add to that. I lower my stove, it's a little high right now. I'm going to add some onions. And stir that up for a little bit. Garlic burns so quick guys, your stove is too high. You put your garlic in there, woo, it'll burn. And saute this for a few minutes. And just saute your onions, garlic, and ginger. Then Just go ahead and add everything in there. Add it all in and just mix it up. And leave it here for a few minutes. And let it just saute for a few minutes. Alright guys, so I have my liquid here that I mixed earlier. The cornstarch settles to the bottom, so you gotta make sure that you mix it up well. And then pour in here. I'm not gonna pour the whole thing. I just pour a little bit of that, maybe about a quarter. And it depends on how thick you want it or how loose you want it to be. It's up to you. But I think this is good right now. If I need more later, I can always add it. And I'm going to let it stay here and boil down for a few minutes before I add the meat to it. See how this has thickened up? This is good. But some people like the peppers crunchy like this. I still like my peppers a little bit softer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more of my liquid to it. So I'm telling you, you can add a little bit at a time. You don't have to add the whole thing at once. So you can just cook down your peppers a little more. So I'm going to cook my peppers down a little more before I add my meat to it. My pepper is a little bit too crunchy. I like them a little bit softer. Guys, so I think that's about good right there. That's about good. And now I'm going to add my meat back to that. Just mix it in. Guys, this is how you make pepper steak. 1, 2, 3, and you're done. The hardest thing is just prepping and getting everything together. And that's your pepper steak, guys. So I'm going to let it steam down for a couple minutes, and then I will go ahead and I will serve it up and I will taste it for you. Okay guys, pepper steak is all done. Here it is. Oh, that looks yummy, doesn't it? That's my pepper steak. Now let me tell you guys something. Y'all saw me cut these up, right? I was going to put this in at the end of the steak and then saute it. You know, after I had put the meat in, I was going to put this in. But guess what? I forgot to put it in. So we are going to have our steak without our scallions. You don't have to have it. It just kind of amps up the flavor a little bit, but we're going to have to do it without that. So let me put that aside. So I'm going to go ahead and taste the steak for you. So you can serve your steak with rice. You can serve it with whatever you want to serve it with. No, I don't want to eat pepper. I want to eat meat. I want to eat pepper. Onions, I can eat onions. Okay. Oh, that's okay. That drop, I'll get that. I'm going to eat that. Trying to escape, but I'll get it. Let me try this for you. That is good. It's good. You can taste the ginger. If you like the ginger, you can have the ginger taste. You see the honey put in, so it has a little sweet. It's not sweet as in powerfully sweet, but it can have that little sweet taste. And it has the meat is tender too. If you want more pepper, you can put more pepper in it, because the black pepper doesn't really. So you can add a little bit of a little more pepper if you want. But this is good. Guys, go ahead and make yourself some pepper steak. Okay, it's very quick. It's just the longest time it takes is just putting everything together. Once you get everything together, it's not that hard. I have fun making this steak for my family, and I hope you have fun making some. Guys, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Okay, I love those comments. And give me a thumbs up. I know sometimes you watch the video and then you click off and then you forgot, oops, I should have given her a thumbs up. but I had fun making this for my family, and I hope you have fun making some pepper steak for your family as well. Until next time, bye bye.